Shalom. All praises, blessings, glories, and honors to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to my elder apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom, beginning with the 144,000 prophets, and Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, willing, this lesson is edifying. My name is Quanawath, and the inspiration for this lesson came from the video that you brothers and few sisters see before you entitled Warning. Elder Barak, HODC, you are not teaching the prophecies accurately and don't sell breakdowns. By GMS Watchman, the beloved brother Yashalom, here from the GMS New York main camp. And according to biblical prophecy, there will be a third world's woe, which, according to Elder Barak of the HODC, there won't be. But according to biblical prophecy, there in fact will be a third world's woe. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second woe is past. So World War II has already passed. And behold, look, the third woe. The word woe means destruction. It cometh quickly. And so the third woe cometh quickly. How do we know this? Based upon, first and foremost, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and verse 8. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 8 of Ecclesiastes' third chapter. A time to love and a time to hate. And we are not in the season of nor to love, but rather we are in the season of and to hate. We know this because our Lord Yahweh Shai had prophesied in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, that, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And iniquity has been abounding. As a result, the love of many has been growing cold, which proves that we are, in fact, in the season of and to hate. And this is the point, a time of war and a time of peace. And clearly, we're not in a time, in a season of peace, but rather in a season, in a time of war. And not just any war, but the third world's woe, which the Lord Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, have been building up over the years, because war is a process. Certain things happen prior to conflict. And the third world's woe will be a special kind of woe, a different kind of woe. A woe, a war, that according to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, will be fought with burning and fuel of fire. For every battle of the warrior, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So when we examine ancient wars, whereby nations would send their armies to fight one against another on the battlefields, men would be equipped with armors, swords, and spears, shields, lances, and they would impale each other, thrust each other through, lacerate each other, cut each other's heads off. There would be screaming, chaos, confusion, all out war, garments rolled in blood. But this war, that is the third world's woe, which cometh quickly, shall be with burning and fuel of fire, which makes it a different, special kind of woe, because it will be fought with burning and fuel of fire, in particular by reason of the thermonuclear missiles, which are the weapons of the Lord's indignation, which means his righteous anger, according to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 25. So we know that we are in the season of war based upon the current geopolitical setting and the things that have been ongoing, especially regarding the Middle East, so-called Middle East, the Arabian Peninsula. And since we are in a season of war, nations have been preparing for war. Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. So nations have been preparing for war because we are in a season of war. And we know so because we have been measuring the times diligently in themselves regarding things that concerns war and filtering them through the scriptures. So we are indeed in the season of war. And not just any war, but the third world's woe, which cometh quickly, according to biblical prophecy. And so nations are preparing for war. Wake up your mighty men. They're waking up their mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Draw near where? Draw near to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, which is located in the Arabian Peninsula in the so-called Middle East. And it's the reason why the Lord, according to biblical prophecy, has dried up the river Euphrates to prepare the way for the kings of the east, including Gog, Russia, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So it reads on to say, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and this is a key verse here. And your pruning hooks into spears, because plowshares and pruning hooks are instruments of agriculture. But when they're beaten into swords and spears, they become instruments of cruelty, weapons of war. And nations have been doing this modernly by using their economic wealth and using them towards the research and development, enhancements and modifications of weapons of mass destruction, in particular for ICBM nuclear missiles. So they have been beating their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. Let weak nations, including, for example, North Korea, say, I am strong, because now they possess the great equalizer, the nuclear missile, the weapon of the Lord's indignation. Again, according to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 25. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about the valley of Jehoshaphat. Thither, there, cause thy mighty ones, who are the angels of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, to come down, O Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So, the third world's woe is imminent. In fact, we're in the process of it being built up until eventually it becomes a very massive conflict in the so-called Middle East, according to biblical prophecy. Small hats have been dragging America, Babylon the Great out into the Middle East to be a guard unto it, pursuant to biblical prophecy concerning the least of the flock, drawing them, which is America, Babylon the Great, out into the so-called Middle East to be a guard unto the state of Israel. As Russia will become a guard unto Iran, the Persians. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fast overflow. In other words, everything is already set in place for judgment. Now is the time, for their wickedness is great. They're ripe for harvest, for judgment. The winepress is full. Fats overflow. For their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, is near in the valley of decision, the valley of Jehoshaphat. So, the third world's woe is in fact a part of biblical prophecy. Okay? So, I'll conclude the lesson here. I just wanted to do my response to this brief lesson done by the brother concerning a statement El Barak made.
Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, for giving us the understanding of the Holy Bible through your men, beginning with the apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. These are the men that are worthy of double honors in the time that we're living in, which we're living at the very end of this world. World in the sense of the Greek word eon, which means an age, a time period. And we're living at the end of Esau's world, Esau being the so-called white man, also known as the man of sin, according to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Again, we're living at the end of their world, all right, pursuant to Matthew 24, verse 3, and 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. So with that being said, Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai Bahashem Rakah Kodash Brakatham, to the 144,000 servants as well as the remaining elect of Israel. So I've got this video here that I want to show you. As you can see here on the screen, it's a video of the elder Barak, which is the leader of HODC, and he's a so-called leader within Israel. The reason I say so-called is because, to be honest with you, he's not doing a good job in terms of breaking down the scriptures. Okay, but nonetheless, I want to address him with a level of respect, because this is a man that goes back to the old school. When I say the old school, I'm talking about One West. I believe he came up with our apostles, in particular Apostle Tahar, and he was taught by their elders, that being King Marshal, High Priest Ariah, and High Priest Yaquab. Okay, so that's where he learned the doctrine from, the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai. But as you're going to see here in this clip, he's going off on the doctrine, on the report of our Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai, concerning World War III. All right, because according to Elder Barak of HODC, our Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai, didn't prophesy about World War III in the scriptures.
And with that, I'll leave a link to this lesson that the brother did in the description box of this lesson, Lord's willing. And this has been my response. I'll catch you brothers and few sisters, Lord's willing, in the next lesson. Shalom.